It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Been that nigga since Ride Digger, Malt Liquor, the block pillar. My 5 fingers took 4 figures. Mussolini the great, investing in new estates. Came up digging in crates with mixtapes, intricate rhyme schemes into the mind. My lyrics imply wisdom. You catch 'em when it's in your car system. Filibuster fool, see the custom jewels. Living comfy cool, finna chuck the dudes. Got a flow you can pump in your pool. Mind data, my brain work like a hard drive. Harder than hard times, I could think of apartheid. Mandela, how I beat the case like Mayweather. My man came to take the charge like Chris Webber. Stay clever, keep a 4-5 like Rhodium. Stand at the podium, knocking niggas down like linoleum. Who know? Jimmy Kudo, no less smoother than Menudo. Practicing judo. All these rappers, my kids like Juno. So elaborate, articulate in the midst of battling. Known as a solid nigga, rappers on Ruben Patterson. I'm Ben Wallace, Gary Payton, glove on a pickpocket. I'm symbolic, going overboard like limb bias. No aesthetic, feeling copacetic with my sober methods. For splash a weapon, guess I'm photogenic. Too mellow, I break them down like a square root. I got the world on my back like it's a parachute. Ever since a kid with crayons, open-minded, lifting up your spirits like a seance. Doing something different for the income, giving niggas opportunities, money and then some. Appetizers like them some. Power of the union, passing out game like the crackers in communion. Level up quicker than Dragon Ball with a fusion. Shit is deeper than music. I'm just speaking the language that's common to light your fuses. Little nigga marching, guess the shoe fits. Taking my picture, that's from memorial. Shit is like a tutorial. Educated, never medicated, feeling elevated. These ghetto hymns come across like I'm serenading. Can't learn nothing from a nigga that never listen. My time productivity, your head in the television. Paraphrase raps, you can turn them to a lecture. My conjecture, I'm building with niggas like architecture. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this afternoon. In this video, we're going to be going over Mickey Factz, who recently decided that he wanted to rehash this whole Lupe Fiasco versus Kendrick Lamar, Lupe is better than Kendrick Lamar conversation. I'm going to be honest before I even jump into this. This conversation is stale. We've had this conversation many a times. I haven't really delved deeply into it on my channel, but there's been a lot of this talk. I mean, Lupe was literally out here saying the same thing a year ago. And it's tired. It's old. It's like, come the fuck on. Now, understand, Mickey Factz is entitled to his opinion. If he truly believes in his heart that Lupe Fiasco is a better, whatever it is, whether it's rapper, artist, MC, whatever category he wants to put the conversation into, we're going to watch the video. That's his prerogative. That's his choice. That is his preference. Nothing wrong with that necessarily. But I do find it strange. I do. Especially coming from Mickey Factz. Now, I don't know how familiar everybody is with Mickey Factz to begin with, but I'm very familiar with Mickey Factz. Over the years, I've been a fan of Mickey Factz. I've been a fan of everybody in conversation in this video, so this is not coming from a place of hate. This is not coming from a place of resentment. This is not coming from a place of bad vibes or energy. Because I came up being a fan of Mickey Factz. I was, out of the three, I was a fan of Lupe first, right? I discovered Lupe first. And from the time that I heard Lupe, he became one of my favorite rappers instantly. A couple years later, around 2008, 2009, Mickey Factz entered my radar. He was a popping artist coming up on like MySpace. And, you know, he was out there in New York. He was doing his thing. I started seeing like, you know, associated acts, the Corey Guns of the world, although I was already up on Guns from old Smack DVD shit. But, you know, that whole Bronx movement, fire, you know what I mean? He was up on that fucking, the Supra movement early. He was on the skinny jeans movement early. He was dope. Right? One of the XXL freshmen from that class with Corey Guns, Charles Hamilton, all dope MCs. So there's not. Yeah, I've followed this nigga from way back then, but I have noticed in the last year, his perspective of hip hop has been a little shaky. So much so that I've muted homie on Twitter because I don't even want to see his posts no more. Right? He felt like Drake delivered the better raps in the Kendrick verse Drake battle. I don't agree. And I feel like there's not even a large enough sample size of Drake raps going directly at Kendrick to even make that evaluation. That's my perspective. Everybody else can have their own. But now we got this Lupe thing. So I'm going to go ahead and let him try to, voice some of his perspective, and then I'll chime back in with mine. But I wanted to first let people know I'm very aware of Mickey Factz. I respect Mickey Factz. I respect his craft, his penmanship. He's one of the nicest niggas walking with the pen. You know what I mean? He may not have the accolades, he may not have the songs, the records to back it up, but just turn a mic on, let that nigga rap. He'll give you 10 minutes of crazy shit in the freestyle. He's one of those guys. Now let's get to this fucking video. So Mickey Factz tells Ray Daniels that Lupe Fiasco is a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar today. That makes it even crazier. Like, you could possibly make that that statement at a certain time and it would be kind of comfortable, but today, of all days, August 6, 2025, ooh-wee.
Incredible lyricist and incredible MC. But I got Lupe ranked higher from a pen standpoint.
Shit. All right, I love Lupe. Food and Liquor is crazy. What's the second album? Because Superstar was on that.
The Cool
was incredible. I love that album.
He could rap his ass off.
Yes. But at a certain point, I feel like the faucet got turned off.
I mean, you're talking about from a standpoint of potentially from a mainstream standpoint, but we talking about from the pen.
Lasers, right?
Yeah, I mean, Lasers was his most popular album. It's not his best album, but it's his most mainstream popular album. It sold the most.
He can really rap.
He can out-rap Kendrick today.
They not going for that shit.
I don't think it's insane. I don't think it's insane.
For the record, I don't think it's insane today.
I don't think it's insane at all. I don't think it's insane.
And I would be remiss if I don't mention, Mickey Factz has worked with Lupe very closely, worked for Lupe closely. Lupe Fiasco has a guild called the Sosa Guild, which is the Society of Spoken Arts, which is the launching pad where he was first starting his rap school education stuff. He did it on his own. Mickey Factz was an integral part of that. They partnered on that. They worked with Daylight. They worked with other, high-level MCs. So I think that also influences and shapes some of his perspective around Lupe versus Kendrick, because he hasn't had that time to get into the rap mind of Kendrick where he spent that time with Lupe. But I'm gonna let him continue before I really put my input in.
I think y'all stand. So what I'm saying? No. What I'm saying is
double
this.
entendres, triple. What you talking about? Dissect that.
I think Kendrick. No. Listen. We're not. The issue. This is the situation. No. Let me speak.
We got 5 more minutes.
Let me speak.
I want him to speak.
Kendrick has been on a run from an album standpoint, unlike anything we've seen since Kanye and Tupac. Right?
Yes.
He has an incredible catalog from a song perspective.
Okay.
And nobody can deny that. That's why he's ranked as high as he's ranked
for sure.
In terms of Biggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and all of these legends.
Okay.
But from a pen standpoint, we're talking about just writing raps, and actually rapping. No, I got Lupe over him. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day of the week.
So how high is Lupe then? Because that's upper echelon.
Oh yeah, no.
Lupe's in that J Nas big.
In terms of pen.
That's what I'm asking.
We're not talking about song.
No, pen, just
but
pen.
But the pen makes the songs.
No.
Right.
No. He writes songs, he writes freestyles, all of that.
That's one of the one times in recent memory I'm a side with Ray Daniels. The pen makes the song. This is similar. This is quite similar to the whole Jay-Z Black Thought thing, by the way. It's all preference. It's all, who you identify with more, your background, your lifestyle, all of that stuff informs your decision on who you take.
Okay. I'm talking about in terms of just lyrically, it's Lupe. He's that guy.
Okay.
And Kendrick would even admit that it's Lupe.
Clip that shit up. I need Kendrick to admit this one. Rashad, I'm like, nigga.
And then when you look at the comments,
okay, I'm gonna just
they're gonna agree with me.
I'm gonna say something bold. I made songwriters, I made records. I really believe that Jay-Z has the most elite pen in hip hop history.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
And I think that right after him, you can flip between Nas and Kendrick. Like, I think he's that great as a rapper.
I would have Nas underneath Jay. Ayo.
I think Nas is the best lyricist of all
I'm not
time.
mad at that either. I think Nas and Jay flip flop.
Jay's the best writer as far as making the hit records, as far as how he's crafted.
But Nas is the best lyricist. Nas would be the best lyricist because Lupe tries to be like Nas.
Yeah. On some bar for bar shit.
I'm not disagreeing with any of those points.
I just want to go, nigga. I need you to give me. I'm dead serious. I want to listen to this shit.
On who?
Spotify playlist on
of who?
Of Cole and Lupe.
I got you. Listen,
and I'm gonna give you.
I'm talking just lyrically. I'm not talking about the song and how it makes you feel and how you vibe to it and how you. I'm talking about from a cerebral standpoint. It's not even close.
Nigga say cerebral. I lost.
You went to this.
I didn't go to college. I don't know what that means, nigga. You went to but I love it though. I respect it, Mickey. I just like nigga. You
Pendulum Man. I'm telling you, that's what it is, nigga.
Ray, you went this whole time without mentioning 3 Stacks, so we appreciate that.
Okay, here we go.
The reason why I didn't is because we ain't talking about groups. Okay. But if we all talking about
pens now,
I think
he don't got a solo song with a chorus and 2 verses rapping.
We talking about pens. I think Andre's pen is better than Kendrick's. I think he's only second to Jay. I think he's better than Nas. I think he's better than everybody.
This is where I stop.
Lyrically, Andre 3000 is better than all of them.
I can't,
except for Jay-Z. That's the only person.
I don't know.
That I would say
I don't know.
Andre can't rap better than.
Now, I'm not here to disrespect Andre 3000. I'm not here to do that. That's my guy. Without him, I don't exist, period, to even have an opportunity. Without him and Big Boy kicking the doors down as lyricists from Atlanta, J Nolan never has anything. You know what I mean? Outkast is that pivotal. I'm not here to downplay Andre. I don't have him that high in my list as like a number 1 guy. But I'm not going to say anything against Andre. You feel me? But I don't have him in that he might be top 10-ish, somewhere around there. I think talent-wise, he's incredible. But if you separate and have him stand alone as just Andre, he's not that high. Outkast as a collective, I have them in my top.
Can you answer that though?
I don't know why. I can't.
So
to Rashad's point, when he brings up Cole, that
nigga said Outkast with a K. Niggas is hard.
When he brings up Cole,
harder than a nigga trying to impress God.
Excuse me. When he brings up Cole and Cole's feature run, I believe that Cole took the blueprint of Andre 3000's feature run and did that for himself.
I agree too, because he got a party right after he did, yeah.
But there is no solo Andre 3000 album. There is no solo Andre 3000 song where he has a chorus and 2 rap verses by himself. I cannot say. I cannot say that he can do this because he hasn't done it. It has not happened. We do not have something that we can say, this is the song that says he can do this. And he came up in the era where rappers were doing it 3 times on a song. He was doing it in an era where rappers, every time out. I know we gotta close it, and I love 3000, like everybody loves 3000.
Ryan, come here.
But there is not. You can't compare him to Biggie when Biggie has songs and albums with 3 verses every single time. There is not one song.
You said
hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Brian,
I'm not done. Let me finish.
We caught in the middle of this shit now.
I
Let's
think
go.
that I believe that 3000 is one of the greatest writers ever that we've ever experienced.
I said Penn.
But there is not
It is.
That's
one
a
song.
little known fact. I didn't know that.
He
I didn't know that.
cannot. He don't even
Yo, as
got.
you said, I'm
he-
thinking about
he
the love
don't-
below, and I'm
he-
trying to
He
think.
don't even have. He don't got more verses than Biggie. Biggie was alive for 3
Two things when you do that.
years.
You invalidate your Lupe thing because Lupe didn't do it consistent.
But he did. But
Yes, he did.
He got a
He-
rap album.
He has rap albums.
He got a rap
He
album.
has-
All right, they screaming. It's finna end any fucking way. We're gonna remove that Andre 3000 shit off the table because that's not what we here for. All right, now let's get back to Lupe and Kendrick, shall we? If you would have asked me in 2009 who the better overall rapper was between Lupe and Kendrick, I would have told you Lupe Fiasco. Lupe Fiasco had more of a catalog. 2009 was the year that I actually discovered who Kendrick Lamar was, the Kendrick Lamar EP. And one of the reasons that I even looked into who Kendrick Lamar was at that time was because he had a freestyle over Lupe Fiasco's Dumb It Down that I thought was dope. And it encouraged me to actually go find the Kendrick Lamar EP. And from there, I became a fan and listened to everything else moving forward. So 2009, I would have said Lupe. Now, I think that might have been the last year that I would have said Lupe. You know what I mean? I might even give a take leading up to the release of Good Kid, Mad City. So we'll go 2012. I might have still said Lupe because there's still stellar Lupe material in the midst of that. You get what year did the original SLR drop? That was around Good Friday eras, right? SLR at the time was one of them joints that like when niggas started writing off Lupe, he started going a little weird. That laser shit happened that wasn't all the way what it was supposed to be. SLR was like, oh, he's still that nigga, right? And I think Lupe has crazy catalog. Food and Liquor, The Cool, those two albums are etched in stone for me. Even with whatever he has going on as a person. Those two albums, etched in stone, hip-hop history. His mixtapes, the Fahrenheit 115 series, nigga. Boy. You go back and play some of that shit where he's, where he even came up with the cool concept on some of the mixtape songs. Well, the pills. You feel me? Like, well-versed in this nigga's catalog. If you take all of that in totality, which is, you have to take all of that into totality because unfortunately, when it comes to albums, he only has, in my eyes, maybe 3 great albums. The Cool, Food and Liquor, and I think everybody pretty much agrees on how good Tetsuo and Youth is. Samurai, it's good rapping, but what the fuck is he rapping about? And I think that's the stage that Lupe's been in for a long time is he's become he can rap, but what the fuck is he rapping about guy? And when you enter that territory, it kind of becomes a big chink in your armor. Because somebody like Nas, who is a high-level MC, he still is able to find relatability within his lyrical raps, in his lyrical, compositions. Street's disciple, you know what I'm saying? So if Lupe is striving to be like Nas, well, that's where he loses to Nas too, is relatability, understandability. Like, you saying all this, he's become the word salad guy. And that becomes a large deduction on your catalog. Whereas Kendrick, he's been on a steady incline. You go from Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly, which is a totally different style of album, still lyrically dense. He gives you the same in many cases the same level of thought and intentionality as what early Lupe was doing. So you can't really say, oh, this is Lupe reached a level of genius that Kendrick hasn't, because when you listen to their music, a lot of the subject matter and the intentionality and the thought processes and socio-political commentary, it's all there for both of them. So you can't, it's all, at that point it becomes whose delivery you prefer. That's on you. But then you go from To Pimp a Butterfly, I won't even count Untitled Unmastered, to Damn. And Damn gives you the mixture of the conscious, the mainstream, and also being able to reach women, which is often an unspoken part of hip hop. Lupe Fiasco, early on, he had women that liked him. And I'm not saying women don't like Lupe. But you go to his first album, he had Sunshine. You know what I'm saying? He had Kick Push, which wasn't necessarily a love song, but it had some of those elements in there. He had what else was on there? Fuck, man. I'm trying to think. I Gotcha, which wasn't a girl record, but it was like, it was mainstream enough, it was poppy enough, it was universal. You get to album number 2, you got Paris Tokyo, which is like, you know, it's basically Tribe Called Quest all over again. And that was like one of the biggest records for Lupe amongst women is, let's go see Paris, ain't nothing in Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? But ever since then, it ain't happened, right? Whereas Kendrick has remained relevant in all of those areas. Now, if you want to say bar for bar, which I think a lot of people will well, I don't want to say a lot of people, but somebody like a Mickey Factz, I'll say this. Let's not even go to the albums. Take your favorite, or maybe you can choose from his albums too. His albums are on the table because he needs them. He needs everything versus Kendrick as far as catalog is concerned, because that's where Lupe isn't as strong. Lupe has good catalog, but Kendrick's is pretty much undeniable, 5 for 5. So you take Mural, you take SLR, you take SLR 2, you take Mural Jr., like those records that we regard as like the quintessential Lupe could be the best lyricist in the world, raps. Put them next to Black Friday. Put them next to Black Friday. And you could deduce who you feel is better. Because I think at that level, I might call it damn near even. But that's not enough to put Lupe over the top, because then when you deduce rap catalog, hit making ability, relatability, being able to be both conscious and accessible at the same time, which are all factors that channel into your overall skill set. Who makes better music? Kendrick wins that all day. But if you want to go bar for bar crazy, I think there's still a case for Kendrick. But I love Lupe as a lyricist, so I'm not taking anything away from him. You get what I'm saying? But this is basically like because Lupe, once upon a time, I would have put Lupe in 2009. I might have put Lupe like above Jay. That's how much of a Lupe fan I was at that time. I was like, yo, this nigga might be better than Jay and Nas. That's how deep I was in it. Because I was like, yo, he kind of takes what they both are able to do and do his own thing on top of that. But he didn't have the longevity. And once the industry shit started to bog him down, his creativity, it dwindled. He put out some shit albums. I gotta be honest. And it became painful to be a Lupe Fiasco fan at one point. I gotta be honest. I was there. I lived through it. And Lupe's heard me say this before when he showed up in the chat for that AI stuff. I've said all this before. He's actually heard me say it, so I ain't afraid to voice my opinion. So I think he has more weaknesses in his armor than Kendrick does. And as he's like made his comeback in recent years to putting out, you know what I'm saying, consumable music, it's been, let me show you how good of a rapper I am, but he's not showing us how good of a song maker he is, which if you don't have those two things, again, that deducts points on your output and how you're perceived. You could put words together all day, but what are you telling me? And the whole thing is, a lot of people like to use this idea of it's going over your head. It's going over your head. I'm not really a go over your head type of nigga. That ain't never been my vibe. Like, if you're dumb and listening to hip hop, I think you probably don't understand what hip hop is about, right? I'll say that much, because hip hop is about intelligent movement. The hip is about being knowledgeable. The hop is the movement, being able to move the crowd. You can't have one without the other. But if everything a person is saying is going over your head, that's a knock on the orator. That's just like if you have a classroom full of students, you're trying to teach the students, 30 students in your classroom, and not a single student is passing a test. Not a single student has a good grade in your class. You could say the students aren't retaining the information, but then the parents are going to say, what the fuck is going on with this teacher? How the fuck is the whole class failing? What do we got to do about this fucking teacher? You know what I mean? Like, and that's just how I see it. And some people even put Kendrick in that category, which I don't understand. But again, if you're dumb, because he simplified his style and people still say that shit. So you got to be dumb. But I think that also fares negatively on Lupe. And then you take the personal stuff, which you shouldn't for an MC or that type of conversation, but it also dwindles your perception value. So I think he has a lot of forces against him. But I think talent-wise, he would definitely be in my top 10 to 15 MCs all time. But I can't overlook the shit music. I can't overlook some of the bad songs. A lot of the, you know, he even like, I don't know, he's done some stuff. He'll do these rhyme schemes and it's like he'll over rap where it's like, it's not offbeat, but it's like, bro, you're extending the margins of your bars too far to where it's not syncing with the beat as well. You know what I mean? It's like you trying to, it's like, that's a thing that you learn early on when you rap is like, hey nigga, why are you trying to over rap the beat? Like, you still got to find some. So all of those things I think are knocks on him. That's my personal take. Everybody's open to their own interpretation. That's how I see it. I would take Kendrick over Lupe. For catalog, longevity, I think a lot of, if you compare their work, they say a lot of the same things. I think Kendrick says it in a more digestible fashion. While while still having a high level of lyrical integrity. So that's how I take it, you know. That's like the Kobe versus T-Mac thing. Like, T-Mac was a comparable talent to Kobe Bryant, but how long can you sustain it? That's a skill. That plays into your skill, your ability. And you can say, well, injury. Okay, well, body conditioning. That's a part of the skill. And if you ain't did it long as me, I can't put you over me. And if you peak at year 6 and I'm out this bitch year 17 and I'm still damn near doing what you was doing at your peak, I'm better than you, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. Niggas really wanna have these fucking lyrical conversations. These shits is gonna get real uncomfortable for some of you purists, nigga. And I'm low-key a purist too, but I've kind of grown out of a lot of that to a degree. I'm a little bit more equal opportunity with this shit these days. Because sometimes the purists, the lyrical, miracle, spiritual niggas be farting and don't think they shit stink. I had to come to that realization. But let me know what y'all think. Down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.